guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. If you like these kinds of videos, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button down below. I do these videos every single week to hopefully give you guys some dinner inspiration and to motivate y'all to cook for your family regularly. I just wanted to remind you guys real quick before we get into the dinners that any recipes I use are always linked down below. Now let's get into this week's What's for Dinner. This first night is Friday and I am making a beef pot roast. It's a recipe from my Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. I will try to find a link to it down below, but if I'm not able to find one, the cookbook is always linked in my Amazon store under like favorite kitchen items. But I am taking a big beef roast and I am searing it in some oil on all sides. Once that has been seared on all sides in my crock pot, I am adding in some water, some Worcestershire sauce, and some beef bouillon, and then I'm going to add in my vegetables. I've got some onion and some potatoes and some carrots and a little bit of celery, and then I'm going to kind of mix that up a little bit. I'm also going to add some salt and dried basil, and then I'm going to put that big piece of roast on top of those potatoes and let that cook on high for about 6 hours. After the 6 hours, I took out my meat and I sliced it up on a plate, and then I'm going to remove about 1.5 cups of the broth from the crock pot. I'm going to add that to a pot on the stove, and to that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of cold water that I've mixed with some flour, about 1/4 cup of flour, and then I'm going to add that to the broth and just kind of simmer it over like medium low, whisking it until it thickens up and it forms a nice gravy. And then I did decide to season it with some more pepper. And here's what it ended up looking like. I just plated it up and then served the gravy over top of everything, and this was seriously so good. It was definitely one of the best pot roasts I've ever had. It didn't seem like it had a lot of seasoning and stuff, but it was definitely very flavorful, and that gravy was just really good. Even the kids really liked it, and they don't usually like gravy that much. But that is going to be it for dinner for Friday.
It is Saturday, and tonight's dinner is an easy one and a favorite. We've got some roasted potatoes. I did these in the air fryer, as you can tell. A little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I think that was it. And they cook for 25 minutes on 400 in the air fryer. And then this is the family favorite. This is the Pioneer Woman Sloppy Joe recipe. I just halved it, and then I leave out the onions and green pepper. 1, because I don't really care for them in Sloppy Joes. 2, because it would just take longer to cook. You'd have to prep the vegetables, and I just don't want to do that. And it's just as good without them. So we've got that. And I toasted our buns in the toaster oven. The kids have some white American cheese on theirs. Lily doesn't want any ketchup. Elijah does. And then the ketchup we're having tonight is this Hunt's. This is the first time I've opened it. The Hunt's Best Ever Tomato Ketchup. This is supposed to be better than their original one. Thicker and richer. Andy wanted to try it, so I tried it just a few minutes ago. It's okay. It's definitely better than regular Hunt's. It's not as good as Heinz. It's not as good as the Walmart brand that is comparable to Heinz. So I probably wouldn't buy it again, but it's okay. I'm not mad at it. So yeah, this is my plate. Got some pepper on my ketchup, and that is going to be dinner for Saturday. It is Sunday, and tonight for dinner I'm going to make some chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I have these fettuccine noodles that I'm going to use, and I'm actually going to cook them in my pressure cooker. It says 4 cups of water, 1 pound of noodles. It's the same method that I followed when I made the pizza pasta last week. So I'm going to do that in there. And then in this pan, I'm going to cook my chicken. I'm just going to slice this in half horizontally so that it's thin. And then once it's done cooking, I'll cut it into smaller pieces. So I've got that. I'm going to season it with salt and pepper and garlic powder. And then I think I'm going to cut up some of these sun-dried tomatoes. Once the chicken is cooked, cook those up a little bit. Then add this Alfredo sauce and probably a little bit of milk and some extra Parmesan cheese. And then we'll mix everything together and have dinner. Okay, dinner is done. To go with the fettuccine alfredo, I made some zucchini and I just seasoned it with salt and the Body Complete seasoning and cooked it in a little bit of butter and olive oil. And so here are our plates. Here's the kids. Some zucchini to try, even though they probably won't like it. And then I cut up their noodles with the kitchen scissors because it makes it easier to eat with a spoon. And here is my plate. And that's going to be dinner for Sunday. It is Monday, and tonight's dinner is a really simple one. I had this Tenderloin in the freezer. It's a citrus herb marinade, and I got it at Walmart for like $2.37 or something for the whole like 2-pound thing. So I just cooked that in my oven, and it cooks for like an hour. And to go with it, I just made some really easy things. This is a roasted garlic and olive oil couscous from Aldi, and then just a can of peas, and I added some butter and garlic powder to that. Here are the kids' plates. I am going to cut up their tenderloin into little bite-sized pieces. Yeah, so peas, tenderloin. And the last time I made the other one, because I got 2 of these when I picked it up, it like the juices and stuff like kind of burned to my casserole dish, so it was really hard to clean. So this time I put a piece of parchment paper down. I mean, the juice still got under there a little bit, but it didn't burn like and have like brown bits all over the pan like last time. So I definitely recommend parchment paper or foil or something if you're going to cook something like this. And then this is that couscous I was talking about from Aldi. We really like it. But that is going to be our really simple dinner for Monday. Hey guys, it is Tuesday, and tonight for dinner we are having tacos. I feel like it's pretty rare that we actually do Taco Tuesday, but instead of just our usual tacos and rice and beans occasionally, I wanted to try something different. So I found a recipe for a Mexican corn salad. It's like a cold corn little dish, and it calls for corn, jalapenos, onion, cilantro, olive oil, lime juice, salt, pepper, paprika, and then some of this kind of cheese. I'm leaving out the jalapenos and the onion. I just didn't feel like doing it. I'm probably going to put in a little bit of the jalapeno juice, but basically we're just going to mix everything together, and then I'm going to put this in the fridge for like 30 minutes while I cook everything else. And I am going to make the Instant Pot Mexican rice that I've made like 2 times now and really like. I finally did get the tomato bouillon, so we're going to see if this makes it any better. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and mix everything together. Okay, everything is done. The rice is done. It turned out really good. As I said, I had the tomato bouillon, so it's like better with that. I tasted it and it definitely tastes better. It's still good without it, but definitely would recommend getting it if you're going to try that recipe. So this is Elijah's plate. He's got ground beef and cheese on his taco. I made the shells in the air fryer. And then we've got the corn salad stuff, and I tasted it and it's really good. So here's my plate, 2 tacos, and I have cheese and tomatoes on mine. Lily has cheese and tomatoes on hers as well. I'm probably going to put some of this Ortega taco sauce on mine. And then those are the tortillas or hard shell tacos in the air fryer. I cooked them on like 300 for like 7 minutes, and that's what they look like. And yeah, that is going to be dinner for Taco Tuesday.
Bye.
It is Thursday, and tonight for dinner we are having pork parmesan with homemade marinara sauce. I have made this before. It is really good, and it's like, it's still like spaghetti kind of, but like a different variation. And it's not like chicken parm. It's made with pork chops. And I had somebody ask before like what I buy for pork chops, and I just buy whatever's cheap, really. These were just like thinly sliced pork chops that were on markdown at Kroger. They were in like a big family pack, and they're boneless, and I pretty much always buy boneless. So I just like cut up the family pack, and I think it made 2 like bags, maybe 3, I can't remember for sure. This is the last one. So I've got those, and then I've got some flour in a bowl, and I'm gonna crack some eggs in this bowl, and then in this container I'm going to mix together some breadcrumbs, which I forgot the regular breadcrumbs. So some regular Italian style breadcrumbs, some panko breadcrumbs, and then I'm gonna do some Parmesan cheese, and then mix all that together. And then I've got my little station set up, flour, egg, breadcrumbs, and then over here in my pan I've heated up 2 tablespoons of oil, and we're going to fry them. They're not going to cook all the way through because I am going to put them in the oven. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees, so they're just going to like get brown and crispy on either side, and then they will go in the oven with the sauce that we make. Okay, our pork parmesan is browning. While it does that, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the marinara sauce. I have some oil in here. To it, I'm going to add some garlic. To my garlic, I'm going to add a 29-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. A 14.5-ounce can of petite diced tomatoes. And then I don't have any, well, I have tomato sauce, but I don't have an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I just have the 14.5-ounce cans. So instead of like using half of one of those, I had some pizza sauce. It's like to there, like half full. This is in the fridge and it needs to be used up. So I'm just going to add this instead of tomato sauce. Next, I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of sugar. Half a teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And about 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I'm just going to let that come to a simmer, and once it does simmer, I'm going to reduce it to low and cover it for a little bit. Okay, as I said in the beginning, I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Now I'm going to take some of this sauce and ladle a little bit over each pork chop, sprinkle on some mozzarella and a little bit of Parmesan, and then these are going to bake for about 15 minutes until the cheese is all melted. And while they cook, I'm going to boil some water and make some spaghetti noodles. Okay, here it is all plated up, and I should really just like make this sauce as like my spaghetti sauce when I make spaghetti because it's really pretty good. And if you've never tried pork parmesan, you have to try it. It's really good, and I might like it better than like chicken parmesan. It's really good. Yeah, so there is that, and there are the kids' plates, and theirs is all cut up. But this is going to be delicious. I did leave mine in a little bit longer. At the 15-minute mark, I turned off the oven, but I let it sit in there for like 5 more minutes while my noodles finished cooking. So it did get a little browner, which is good. It'll be extra crispy and delicious. That is going to be dinner for Wednesday. It is Thursday, and it's Thursday morning, and I'm prepping dinner for tonight. We are having a really easy chicken and dumplings recipe that goes in the crock pot. It's so easy, and it's pretty good. It's not as good as like really good homemade chicken and dumplings, but it'll do. Sorry if it's loud. Dishwasher is going. I just got that started. So in my crock pot, I have about a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. They are frozen solid, but it's okay because I will cook this on high and it will be done. To that, I'm going to add 2 cans of cream of chicken, and then I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter. A little bit of onion powder because it calls for onion, but I don't like chunks of onion in my chicken and dumplings, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do some onion powder, and then we're just going to fill the rest of the way with water so that the chicken is completely covered. And then, as I said, I'm going to cook this on high for like 6 hours. Six hours should be good. It's almost noon, so that'll be perfect. And then later, I will take some biscuits, some canned biscuits, cut them up, drop them in, and they cook for like 20 to 30 minutes in there, and then dinner will be ready. Okay, for the dumplings, I have just some jumbo buttermilk biscuits. I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them up into little pieces, and I'm going to roll them in some flour to prevent them from sticking together. And then we're just going to plop them into the broth and let them cook, I think, for like 30 minutes. Yep, we're going to put the lid back on and let it cook for about 30 minutes. Dinner is finished. I hope it still turned out good because I actually didn't have the right biscuits. You're supposed to use the ones that come in the really small cans, and there's like 10 really small biscuits in there. Those are the ones that you're supposed to use, but my Aldi didn't have them, and so I just bought these buttermilk ones, as you saw. So hopefully they still taste good. They are kind of big. I probably could have cut them even smaller and flattened them out even more, but it's okay. I'm sure it will still taste good. So I already went ahead and plated it up. That's just what it looks like. It looks the same. That's going to be all we're having for dinner tonight. Chicken and dumplings. That is going to wrap up this week of What's for Dinners. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button down below. If you do not follow me on Instagram, please go down below, hit the link to my Instagram, follow me. My handle is Tay.Taylor. So find me over there, follow me on Instagram, because I have something that I'm going to be announcing tomorrow, Monday, over there on Instagram. So if you're following me over there, you will see it. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!